Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's take a quick look outside our weather window on this Wednesday afternoon as we head up to, I believe, right, Malcolm, Lake Chelan, and some clouds around today. Boy, we saw that all over north central Washington, a little bit of haze as well lingering around parts of north central Washington, but all in all, wind was very light today and temperatures very mild, but we could see just slight changes as we get you into your Thursday and Friday. Yeah, windy conditions. Not so much for us tomorrow, but I think Friday we'll see some wind. It will be about 10 miles an hour tomorrow, and temperatures will be cooler as well. Not so much in the 80s like today, but back in the mid to upper 70s for Thursday and Friday. We'll talk more about that and your weather for the upcoming weekend a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Evacuation levels were lowered this morning in many of the areas near the 25-mile fire on the south side of Lake Chelan. Last night, the Wenatchee School Board managed to adopt its $143 million budget for the academic year. Firefighters in Ephrata rescued 2 people from a burning home last Saturday morning. Grant County has confirmed 12 new COVID-19 deaths, with 1 dating back to last October. But first, we begin tonight. A single-wide mobile home was destroyed in a fire in the 200 block of Boudry Street in South Wenatchee this morning. Chelan County Fire District 1 spokeswoman Kay McKellar said 3 adult residents of the home were able to escape safely and are now being assisted by the Red Cross. The cause of the 10:40 a.m. fire is under investigation. Firefighters had the fire knocked down by 11:15 a.m. Evacuation levels were lowered this morning in many of the areas near the 25-mile fire on the south side of Lake Chelan. The Get Out Now notices have been in place for some areas since shortly after the fire broke out August 15th. The fire, which has burned just over 11,000 acres, was expected to be 16% contained by tonight. At a virtual community meeting last night, Incident Command Team members talked about the progress firefighters have made and the challenges ahead.
You know, what we've had over the last few days, we've had some spotty showers. We've had a decrease in fire behavior. So the threat isn't imminent as defined in that level 3, but we want to make sure everybody understands there's still a concern out here, but we don't have that imminent threat of fire impacting or threatening to impact these homes and these values at risk. And so through lots of conversation with the communities and local cooperators and law enforcement, we've agreed that we support the desire for the folks to come to a level 2, because it's really important for us to not keep individuals and folks out of their home. Basically, you can see here on Google Earth, it's a very good viewpoint of where the current fire perimeter is across the landscape, and just really gives you a good idea of how the topography is and some of the challenges we have out there, but also the great success that's been taking place with our folks out there.
There are a number of fires nationally, specifically in California, Oregon, and up into Washington currently, that are requiring incident management teams like ours and a lot of firefighters to meet the mission of those individual incidents. We're having to share resources nationally, which isn't an ideal situation because we have the staffing we need to maintain command and control of the incident, but we can't have a surge of resources coming in and quickly get the work done. So that's where we have to be patient. We have to ensure that the limited resources that we have, we're taking good care of them. We're getting them engaged where they're going to have the most opportunity for success. And I asking for your patience as we're being patient with the resources that we have to meet the needs of this fire. We're really trying to make sure that they are being utilized effectively and making sure that they're getting good rest, getting supported logistically, and getting to be able to do their job safely. So PL5.
Last night, the Wenatchee School Board managed to adopt its $143 million budget for the academic year, but not before calling recess twice and eventually reconvening on Zoom after more than 50 members of the public refused to wear masks in the meeting room. Most voiced opposition over state requirements for masking of children and anyone working in school buildings as a safeguard against COVID-19. Here's what some of that meeting looked like last night.
We are under the governor's order of mask mandates in our building. I am just asking you to comply with those so we can move on and have the conversation as you asked. That's all I'm asking is to follow the
We're
laws that
asking you
were.
to continue the meeting with a bunch of concerned citizens. We're here, we came here tonight to listen to you out of respect. Not disrespectful. We disagree, obviously, on the masks, but you also have the choice to continue the meeting.
And we are here to tell you that screw the mandate. We are here to tell you that we paid for this.
You're here to bully
paid for
public
this,
servants
and we're
into
tired of
doing
this.
what you want instead of following the law.
So do you want to hear us or not?
I would
This is
love
not
to hear
bullying.
you.
Are you kidding me?
With a mask?
This show up, there's usually like 10 people
done.
here all
I'm really
following the
sorry if
rules.
this is how.
Our district is committed to following the mask mandate issued by the governor and the superintendent of public instruction. Many members of the audience are unmasked this evening. All have been offered the opportunity to be provided with a mask if they do not have one. A good majority of the people have refused to acquire a mask and to wear one. We respect everybody's right to have an opinion, and we do want to hear from each and every one of you. However, it poses some degree of risk for our district to continue with open public meeting in violation of the governor's mandate. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to recess for 10 minutes and come back and see what you all have decided. And then we will take appropriate action from that. Okay, so we have taken our recess, and it appears to me that the bulk of the audience has chosen to remain. As a matter of fact, it looks like mostly those who had left were the folks that were actually complying with the mandate.
So it'd be the conclusion of the board that.
It's not time for a discussion, I'm sorry, we're not having a discussion with the public right now.
My name's Luke Dietrich.
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry.
we are not.
You were mentioning about
We will-
I have a 6-year-old
we will
daughter, I have a
adjourn the
3-year-old son, and I have a 1-year-old son. And I
I'm
feel so
adjourning the
safe for
meeting.
what you guys are forcing down their throats. The teaching you're bringing them, the making them wear masks,
So the board's
it is
on a choice
unsafe
to
and it is
begin.
harmful
Just
to
let
them.
this be on the
And this is
record.
wrong what you guys.
Firefighters in Ephrata rescued 2 people from a burning home last Saturday morning. Grant County Fire District 13 said the home in the 1100 block of Cottage Street Southeast was fully involved when Ephrata firefighters and police arrived. After being told there were still people in the basement, Ephrata police were able to guide one person out using their flashlights and voices. Wearing breathing apparatus, Grant County Fire District 13 firefighters entered the home and drugged the man to safety. Both occupants were airlifted to the hospital with undisclosed injuries. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. In other news, Grant County has confirmed 12 new COVID-19 deaths, with one dating back to last October. The Grant County Health District said it delays announcing COVID-19 deaths until they have been fully verified as being caused by the virus. The Health District said 5 of the new deaths occurred this month and 4 in July. There have been 146 confirmed COVID-19 deaths in Grant County since the pandemic began. Well, coming up next, fired Chelan County Sheriff's Deputy Jennifer Tyler has won another victory against her former employer. $10.5 million, that's the total amount in federal grants headed to Pangborne Memorial Airport. State Fish and Wildlife specialists will begin flying drones over the upper Wenatchee River next month, trying to get a count of salmon spawning beds. And for the second year, COVID-19 has led organizers of the Tour de Bloom bicycle event to cancel. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think there's something the matter with him.
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived. Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
I'm Jared Sessler, your Republican candidate for Congress. When I drove NASCAR, fair competition was everything. But it isn't possible if someone is cheating or if illegal players are allowed on a team. In NASCAR, COT meant the car of tomorrow. But today, CRT forces the America we know and love to run with weights around its ankles. I'll fight for the common sense that we need in DC. Go to jaredsessler.com to learn more. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. In another news, fired Chelan County Sheriff's Deputy Jennifer Tyler has won another victory against her former employer. The State Public Employment Relations Commission has refused to overturn a finding that Sheriff Brian Burnett committed an unfair labor practice against Tyler. Burnett suspended Tyler for 3 days in 2018. The deputies union filed a claim against him on Tyler's behalf, saying the sheriff retaliated against her for protected union activity. A hearing officer for PERC agreed with the union, but Burnett's office appealed the finding. In a ruling last month, the full commission upheld the finding that Burnett unlawfully discriminated against Tyler. The sheriff must now restore any wages and benefits Tyler lost in her suspension and post a notice of the PERC decision for all its employees to see. Tyler successfully sued the sheriff's office for a prior case of retaliation 3 years ago and won $500,000. Burnett fired her in 2019, and she is once again suing over that dismissal. Well, $10.5 million. That's the total amount in federal grants headed to Pangborne Memorial Airport. $6 million of that total was announced last week by Congressman Dan Newhouse to repair and upgrade more than 10,000 square feet of the airport's pavement apron and install new lighting. The remainder includes more than $1 million toward COVID-19 pandemic relief for any losses the airport has suffered, and more than $3 million for other costs. State Fish and Wildlife specialists will begin flying drones over the upper Wenatchee River next month, trying to get a count of salmon spawning beds. The drone flights will supplement surveys done on foot and by boat. They're looking for summer Chinook spawning beds in the areas around Dryden, Blackbird Island in Leavenworth, and Tumwater Canyon along Highway 2. Drone flights will take place daily from September through November, about an hour each day. Fish and wildlife managers say drone surveys may prove more economical and less labor-intensive than other common methods of Chinook monitoring. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment. So my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
nice.
Well,
I mean, you might as well throw up a screen door to block the summer smoke.
sometimes it gets
When we
warm.
breathe in the wildfire smoke, we are ingesting hazardous chemicals such as acetic acid and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A lot of bad stuff, okay?
Well, yeah, that's why we...
Cardboard ain't gonna cut it.
So...
Go to ChelanPUD.org/save today.
Let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And today, beautiful day, wasn't it? We did see some of those clouds roll in. You can see that near the Lake Chelan area. A few boats out enjoying this 80-degree day as we are now into late August. Boy, where did this summer go, right? Even though we were scorching hot at the beginning of the summer, a little bit cooler now as we head towards the end of August. As I mentioned, some clouds out there today, but temperatures, they were on the nice side. Unofficially, 82 our high temperature at Pangborne Airport. 84 is our normal high temperature, so pretty much right where we should be for this time of year. 54 overnight low, 59 is normal. Our record high was back in 1996 at 97 degrees, 46 our record low, and that was in 1992. Sunrise 6:11, and the sun will set tonight at 7:54. Let's move forward now and take a peek at what we can expect as we get into Thursday, and we will see cooler temperatures. There is a weak storm moving by. We'll talk about that in a second, but temperatures will cool down about 5 degrees generally. Upper 70s, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. 78 in Wenatchee, 77 in both Kashmir and Leavenworth, and the warm spot up in Omak tomorrow at 81 degrees. Tonight we can expect some clouds out there. We saw that this afternoon, so we'll call it mostly cloudy. Still a little bit hazy tonight as well with normal overnight lows. We're talking between 55 and 60, and there's those clouds that did roll in this afternoon along this area of low pressure that we'll talk more about in a second. For Thursday, mostly sunny and breezy. Low pressure here, high pressure here, and that'll kick up those winds a little bit tomorrow afternoon with high temperatures mainly in the upper 70s. A little bit of rain in western Washington as well, so we do have about a 20% chance for a scattered shower Thursday night. For Friday, mostly sunny and mild. We will see high temperatures in the upper 70s, so a really, really nice way to end our work week. Talk about really nice. This weekend, get outside. Sunshine and warmer. Temperatures in the mid-80s. It is going to be beautiful all over central and eastern Washington, and even a little bit warmer as we get into Sunday. In fact, we're going to be above normal as we get you into Sunday with sunny skies and temperatures in the upper 80s. Won't be surprised at all if some of us see 90 degrees for a high on Sunday, and then the wind comes in. We're going to see it on Monday with sunshine. Temperatures will cool off a little bit into the mid to upper 80s as this trough of low pressure continues to slide across southern Canada. By the end of our forecast on Tuesday, I think even windier conditions for Tuesday. Still sunshine. It will be slightly cooler Tuesday too, with high temperatures generally into the mid 80s. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast tonight. A little bit warmer than we've seen. 60 overnight tonight. Breezy, mostly sunny, and 78 tomorrow. Beautiful for Friday, much less wind and 78, and then that slow warm up. 84 Saturday, 89 into Sunday, and then those windy conditions. We'll just call it breezy Monday and 87, but boy, downright windy on Tuesday with a high then of 85 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Make being home fun again. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa has just what you need to bring fun back into your backyard. We have a wide selection of artesian spas and swim spas, new and used to choose from. We are happy to announce we are now selling Rainbow Kids play structures with 50 models to choose from. To help finish off your entertainment area, we have patio furniture and Komodo Joe grills. At Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa, we have just what you need to bring family fun and entertainment to your backyard. Stop by today.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services, including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it on the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. Chris Flexen has proven to be the Mariners' ace pitcher this season and did it again yesterday in Oakland, leading the Seattle Mariners over the A's 5-1. The 27-year-old right-hander tossed 6 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 run in the first inning on 6 hits for the game, striking out 5 with 1 walk. It was his 11th win of the season. Offensively, Mariners didn't use the long ball for a change and instead counted on some timely hitting. Jared Kelenic began a good day at the plate in the second.
On the first pitch, into right field, Terens scores. Kelenic has tied this game. Murphy into second. We're even at 1. RBI base hit by Jared Kelenic. Now it's the Mariners who string together 3 straight hits.
Yeah, takes advantage of a breaking ball right in the middle of the plate, able to stay back on it. Hits it hard through the right side.
Luis Terens would put Seattle in front with a 2-out base hit in the top of the third.
Seager the go-ahead run. Line into right field. Terens a multi-hit day. He scores. Seager from third base. Toro's coming around. He scores from second. Terens drives in a pair, and it's 3-1 Mariners with 2 outs in the third inning.
Seattle would score 4 of its 5 runs with 2 outs, including adding some insurance runs in the 8th.
Kelenic rifles this out to right field. Short hops the wall. Murphy is into third. He's coming home. Kelenic smokes a ribby double, and the Mariners tack on an insurance run. It's 4-1 in the 8th inning. Dylan Moore past the dive of Elvis Andrus. Kelenic is on his way home. Dylan Moore tacks on another. It's a 5-1 Mariners lead with 2 outs in the 8th.
All of this with 2 outs. A couple of quick strikeouts in his 3 hits in a row.
Kelenic, after the RBI double, scores on the base hit from Dylan Moore.
Mariners complete the 2-game sweep of Oakland, finish the 8-game road trip 6-2. Manager Scott Service says the Seattle clubhouse is a fun place to be right now.
If you could see the coach's room, Brian, after every game, there's a tradition that started here about 2 months ago, and it has gone on. It's turned into, it's the biggest frat house you ever want to be a part of. Right up your alley, Ryan, actually. You would enjoy it.
Well, I'll save the beer bongs and everything for later, but
We'll fireball. Always get you.
A little fireball for the victory. Seattle has an off day today before returning home to host Kansas City in the first of 4 games tomorrow night at 7:10. Checking the rest of the American League West from yesterday, Joe Adell drove in 4 runs and Brandon Marsh collected 4 hits as the Angels beat Baltimore 14-8. Nathaniel Lowe was 5 for 5, including a home run to power Texas over Cleveland 7-3. Luis Garcia earned his 10th win, pitching 6 2/3 with 7 strikeouts to lead Houston over Kansas City
4-0. Here's a look at the American League wild card race. The Yankees won for the 11th straight time, downing Atlanta 5-4. Boston edged Minnesota in a slugfest 11-9. Toronto was tripped up by the White Sox 5-2. New York 2.5 games up over Boston. Oakland sits 2 games back, while Seattle is 3 back heading into its series with Kansas City. Well, familiar face once again donned a Seahawks uniform on Tuesday. Seattle re-signed tight end Luke Wilson to add depth to that position. This will be Wilson's 3rd go-around with the club, and Pete Carroll is happy to have his energy back in the building.
I think it's real important. Sure it's important in our program. We're trying to live on the high end of this thing and keep the spirit up and keep the energy high. Expectations are really high to do that, and it takes leadership and participation. And certain people just have more juice than others, And Luke has always been he's been a great part of that for us, and he's just one of my favorites that we've had in the program over the years.
Seattle also traded a 7th-round draft pick in 2023 to Houston for cornerback John Reed. Carroll says he also brings some depth to a position that has seen some injuries.
Real steady, has played nickel, shows versatility, played inside and outside, got really good speed, been an active player. We're continuing to seek depth, and he had played for Tracy in Houston, and so he has some background on him, and we knew kind of what we were getting, so it helps us out.
Seahawks also saw the return of several players to the practice field yesterday from injury, including running back Travis Homer, cornerback DJ Reed, center Ethan Posick, quarterback Geno Smith, tight end Tyler Mabry, offensive tackles Cedric Aboye and Jamarco Jones. Coach Carroll still won't say if starters will play on Saturday when Seattle wraps up the preseason against the Chargers, but he will say he wants to see better play.
I'd like to see us play a lot cleaner, at the line of scrimmage and with the football. The last week was a disastrous day with the football, and we had 5 penalties at the line of scrimmage. So we need to get out of our own way, and that needs to show up this week if we're going to make good progress on the game field. From the first group, when they're in practice and the work that they've done, I don't see those same issues. But this week, it popped up, and it's just a good illustration. I hope that's not, indicative of what we're going to be like as a team when all of, the whole crew's out there. But they're good, hard, crappy lessons that you got to deal with, and we'll try to learn from.
Seattle and LA kick off Saturday night at 7 o'clock at Lumen Field. The Mariners moved up their start time to 1:10 Saturday to avoid a traffic headache in that SoDo area. By the way, earlier today I was up in Kashmir, talked to Brian Bremer about the 2021 version of the Kashmir Bulldogs. We'll have more on that coming up tomorrow right here on the NCWLIFE channel. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On the Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, which coincidentally enough is tomorrow, my guest will be Darcy Christopherson, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Start talking about some of the upcoming events, including the big auction coming up in October and everything else you need to know. We'd like to keep you in the Apple Blossom loop, because we love the Apple Blossom Festival around here. Darcy will get you the information you need. News, sports, weather, general shenanigans, and whatever else may happen on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Oftentimes, it's a crapshoot. It's a live television show. We work without a net. We will see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. live right here from Studio 2. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night. Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCWLIFE channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.